Alright guys, so inside of the arena right now, along with the T-Knight comp as well as the standard double tank double DPS, there are a lot of 2-1-2 comps which are going to be something like Holleberry, Pataya, Sherbet in the middle, as well as whether it be pure vanilla, herb, or Snapdragon, or there's also instead of Sherbet, there's also something like Stardust. So in this video I wanted to quickly talk about a team that you guys can try and use if you guys have the ability to counter any of the 2-1-2 comps with a pretty good win rate. It's definitely not guaranteed to be a 100% win rate, but from what I've tested out so far, this is going to be one of the best ones to utilize because you just never know what the cookies are going to be within a 2-1-2. It literally could be anything, but this one definitely does help you in dealing with majority of the variations of a 2-1-2 comp. And it is going to be with Holleberry, Stardust, Sherbet, Snapdragon, as well as pure vanilla. Alright guys, so before we get back into the video, I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is going to be LD Player. So just like always, I've been using LD Player for the longest time now for this channel, playing Cookie Run Kingdom, and it is the best emulator that I have used, allowing me to play not only Cookie Run Kingdom but other Android games that are going to be available inside of the Google Play Store. But LD Player is amazing, guys. It is the absolute best emulator that I have used without any problems so far. Their support is definitely amazing as well. They try to fix any problems that come up right away, especially for Cookie Run Kingdom. But if you guys want to use the emulator like myself and play on your PC, then click the link down in the description and download LD Player and try it out yourself and enjoy your Cookie Run Kingdom gameplay on your computer. I know definitely this is not going to be a super easy comp for everybody to build, but if you guys have the ability to do so, try it out against any of the 2-1-2. Even if they do have someone like Herb, you'll be able to deal with them. And let's go over the topping real quick, and it is going to be 5 of the Swift Chocolate for Holleberry here, focusing on the damage resist as well as the cooldown. And then of course it's going to be Sherbet with 5 of the Swift Chocolate, and we are focusing on the damage resist and the cooldown as well, but the recommended one is going to be around 22.4. That's going to be the optimal one, guys, but it's not going to be the requirement. The more damage resist and cooldown you can get it, the better it's going to be. Next one is going to be our Stardust. Stardust is using 5 of the Juicy Apple Jelly. I have seen people use 4 Juicy Apple Jelly and 1 Swift Chocolate as well to increase the cooldown a little bit, of course with the damage resist as well as focusing on the cooldown. Next one is going to be our Pure Vanilla. Pure Vanilla is using 5 of the Swift Chocolate as well here. We are focusing on the damage resist. Around 20% is going to be good. And of course, if you're in the lower ranks, then the lower damage resist is going to work out for you guys because the cookie level and the promotions won't be as high as what I'm versing inside of the Pure Vanilla server around Grandmaster 3, 2, and 1. And then of course the cooldown is going to be around 20%, 22% is going to be good. And then last one is going to be our Snapdragon 5 of the Swift Chocolate again. And we are 0% on the damage resist, of course, because Snapdragon is a safeguarded. And then of course cooldown around 23.7% is the optimal one. But if you guys can get it higher, it is definitely recommended, and attack, crit, and attack speed will help out in healing a little bit more. As you can see, the thing that is unique about this team is that we're using the Monocle as well as the Whistle and the Jelly Watch instead of something like the Scroll. And the reason why we have the Monocle is because we want to try and counter any of the Sherbets that may be inside of the enemy team, and kind of get rid of that frost stack while they don't have way to get rid of their frost stack, slowing down the Pataya as well as their own Sherbet as well. All right, so here we go, guys. Let's get into the arena. Let me show you guys this team in action, and you guys can see for yourselves whether it's a team that you might want to use or not, because I'm using T-Knight, this one, as well as a standard 2-2-1, and that's pretty much what I'm doing to climb inside of the arena right now. Alright guys, so here we go. It is going to be a 2-1-2. You don't know if this is going to be a Pataya or a Capsaicin. You don't know if this middle one is going to be a Sherbet or a Stardust or even a Pataya Capsaicin here. So we're just going to use this team and we'll just find out whether it's going to be the one or the other. Alright guys, so it is going to be a Pataya as well as a Sherbet. Alright, so this one is going to allow us to, counter that Sherbet's frost stack with the Monocle, while we are still able to provide, and put the frost stacks onto the enemy team while also putting the Sign of the Star debuff onto the Pattaya as well. Alright, so this is definitely going to be better for us, and because we do have Snapdragon's heal as well as the buffs, we will be able to survive Pattaya's, Fire Breath right over here, because we do have Pattaya, damaging super slow because of that Frost stack. Alright, so definitely a good comp here, and it's a very balanced comp to deal with majority of the 2-1-2. But again, the downside is that you guys can see there is no epic cookies being used here, and you can see that it is going to be an ancient, super epic ancient, as well as a special. So just keep that part in mind. Really hard to find a replacement for Sherbet as well as Stardust because they just have a really unique skill. Pure Vanilla here and there can be replaced with someone like Herb as well, but it is definitely going to be harder to replace Pure Vanilla's HP shield as well as that burst heal that he is able to do. As you guys can see, 11 million coming out from our Pure Vanilla. All right, so it's definitely going to be hard, but this is going to be a way to counter majority of the 2-1-2s right now. All right, here we go, guys. Another one here. And one thing you probably have to keep in mind is, just like majority of the arena, if their enemy Snapdragon is a super high ascension / promotion difference between your Snapdragon or your particular, cookies, then there are times when Snapdragon will kind of just out heal your damage and kind of have your cookies die off a little bit faster. So just keep that one in mind. Even my Snapdragon, which is right now, I believe, at 3-star promotion, I haven't spent any more money on the banner except for that first day to do the review. I have sometimes a hard time dealing with some of the enemy Snapdragons who are like 5-star ascension within the Grandmaster because they just heal way too much, all right? But, Stardust does do a decent amount of, damage as well as the debuffs in order to prevent Snapdragon from providing all the buffs and such to not only Pattaya but also to the Sherbet on the enemy team. So it does work out pretty darn well if you guys have the ability, once again, to create this team and test it out. But there you guys go. Sherbet again, absolutely carrying with that 9 million damage because there is no way for the enemy team to actually get rid of those Frost stacks while we have the Monocle to heal as well as purify our cookies. All right, here we go, guys. Another one here against the Sherbet. This time around, they are actually using the feather here. So they do have, that, I believe they don't have the whistle here. Or the scroll, one or the other. I actually just saw the feather and just kind of versed it, but there's going to be a lot of that kind of comp too, where they have the feather instead of a whistle or the scroll. All right, in order to allow Sherbet on the enemy team to come back alive with the feather. So there is going to be that portion as well, but most of the time, when you have the Monocle, going to help us kind of get rid of that Frost stack quickly. All right, the Sherbet did come back alive right there and casted the skill twice right there. All right, and as you can see, that's the reason why our Holoberry took a good chunk of damage right there. But we got the healing coming in. And here we go. Now it's going to come down to the last 30 seconds. And boom, we're good to go. All right, and you can see 8 million damage again coming out from our Sherbet, as well as 5 million coming from our Stardust. And the healing is still really good from both Pure Vanilla as well as Snapdragon. Alright guys, and also during the arena, you are going to come across some of these teams as well, where they are going to be using a single tank, double DPS, and a double healer. When that's the case, just go with your standard double tank, double DPS, and you should pretty much be good right there. This one is not using any of the Monocle, so let's go. So this one actually is going to be the Frost comp. Alright, so not a lot of people are going to be using that particular comp as a defense. It's going to be most of the time, if they do ever have a single tank, it's either going to be a Prune Juice or a Frost comp. And the Frost comp, this comp is perfectly fine. You can also try to use the T-Knight comp. That's perfectly fine to deal with Frost comps as well. Alright, but you guys can also use this one here because Snapdragon will provide damage resist as well as debuff resist and all of that as well. Alright, so here we go. Just left with their Sherbet. So we should be able to deal with that Sherbet right there with our Moonlight and Stardust. Our Pattaya is still alive even though our Frost Queen did die. And we should be able to finish it off here. with our Pataya, Stardust, and the extra skills right there. Moonlight again. And there we go. And this is going to be a way to deal with any of the, regular 1-2-2 comps that are going around right now. But just wanted to share this comp with you guys so that you guys are able to deal with any of the 2-1-2 comps that might be a little bit of a problem, especially for your T-Knight. Sometimes it can be. So good luck with the arena run, guys. I will share more comps with you guys soon. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.